Good afternoon. Welcome to this week's episode of GCC's Georgia Chiro Connection. I'm your host, Dr. Kathy, and today's guest is not only a great chiropractor, but a phenomenal friend, Dr. Jamie Engel. She's coming to us from Beverly, Massachusetts. So, hey, Dr. Jamie, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Kathy, it's so great to see you.
Oh my gosh,
Come
it's so
on.
good to see you. I feel like I've been missing you too much lately.
Same.
But it's kind of a common theme. Everybody I talk to, life has just been busy for people, and
Yeah.
life seems to be getting in the way of other things. And maybe it's personal life is getting in the way of business, or business is getting in the way of hobbies, or hobbies are getting in the way of, other fun. But it seems like everybody is a little bit overwhelmed with things lately. And
Yeah.
so one of the things I wanted to talk about with you is, how do you persevere when life gets in the way? Because I know for you, life has gotten in the way lately.
Oh yeah. Yes. With Dr. Kathy, I love you. What she's referring to is actually, you can see it. My broken hand. Isn't that cool? I mean, we always joke about, see how the knuckle is not where I had a fifth metacarpal fracture end of February playing. I actually played football. I play flag football, which I swear to God is less dangerous than tackle football, and I'm actually pretty good at it. And I absolutely love it. It's like one of my favorite hobbies that I do, and it was literally, and this sounds so dramatic, but it's not, because I think every chiropractor knows heart just broke when I said I broke my hand, because it's literally, as we half joke, it's the chiropractic nightmare. Everyone's like, what's your worst nightmare? And the joke is breaking my hand, because you can't, it's not just that you can't do things for yourself. Your gift is taken away. And if you truly believe that your gift is to serve your community and put your hands on people and change their brain and change their nervous system, and now you can't, it's really devastating. Like I mentally, obviously physically, and it was such a challenge. I just, yeah, I'm just so happy that I'm on the other side. And it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. But having to close my practice down. First of all, the idiot I am, right? Trying to practice with a broken hand. That was smart. Um, and when I went to school, I really did a lot of sports chiropractic. So when it got hit, I knew exactly what it was, and I was just in denial about it. I was like, oh no, there's no way it's a metacarpal fracture, or no way. Like, I don't break bones. I've lived my life, 41 years, never broken a bone. We're German, we don't break bones, right? And I cannot believe it. And it was such a freak accident. But having to close my practice down, and I live by myself, I don't have children, and just having to figure out how to ask for help. I don't know why, that had to be a lesson over and over again in my life, but asking for help. And my patients were just absolutely amazing about it. I had a mutiny of patients refusing to come in because they didn't want my hand to get worse. And so then I ended up taking days off. And I had to stick around because pretty cool, like, weird balance of life, right? Worst thing that can possibly happen to me. And then I won Business Person of the Year for the Beverly Chamber of Commerce. So here I am with like a brace, because they don't cast metacarpal fractures, on my hand, going up to accept an award, can't really hold the award and the mic in front of a room full of people for one of the biggest honors through the Chamber of Commerce in Beverly, in our city. So it was a really interesting time. Yeah.
My gut wants to say only you.
Only
right?
me.
Because I know you so well that my gut says only you would break their hand playing football, but it's not only you, right?
No, Dr. Sean.
Right.
Yeah. We were at the League of Chiropractic Women's Seminar, and poor Dr. Sean, she looks at me, she's like, your hand, my finger. She broke her finger falling down some stairs. And that's when, people are like, well, are you going to give up football? I was like, well, my colleague, broke her hand falling down the stairs. And, Dr. Vanessa, I mean, God bless that woman.
Right.
Yeah. So I am so grateful to call her one of my sisters. And she and I ended up at League of Chiropractic Women together. Our seminars, those seminars are always when we need it. And it was like the universe brought us together again. And I just kept thinking of what she persevered when she broke everything in her body, skydiving, right? And she got there and she was our opening speaker. And I just looked at her and, like, oh my gosh, we would just sit on her balcony and drink coffee and talk about perseverance. And it was literally what I needed. And thank God for my chiropractic sisters. Of course, Dr. Sally has persevered over her own challenges with health. And, like, here I'm looking at these two wonderful women thinking to myself, my hand will heal. And it was kind of my mantra, is my hand will heal. And, watch me heal my hand faster. let me show my patients how fast they can heal when they do the right things, and trying to really switch that mind frame, from feeling helpless to, okay, let's go, bring it. The athlete in me comes out, the competitiveness, like, okay, let's heal this thing faster. But I'm just very lucky that I have such a great chiropractic community and sisterhood. So
But
helps you get through it.
you also have a great chiropractic heart. You've got a
Yeah.
great philosophy. You've got such an extensive background with, neurology and
Mm-hmm.
brain work that I think of all people, you were the right person for this to happen to, if I could say
Right.
that, right? Because I
Sure.
knew that you would handle it right. Where some people,
Oh,
a break like that would break them. Period. End of
oh,
story. The
yeah.
practice would close, or financially they wouldn't be able to not work, or they wouldn't want to bring a covering doctor in, or just mentally, this could be the thing that would just bring somebody down so
Yeah.
quickly. And so, more importantly than the financial aspect is the personal aspect of
Mm-hmm.
how does it feel to not be able to do what you're desiring to do? How do you not do your calling and be okay with it? Now, it's one thing if you decide, look, I'm ready to go into retirement, and you're willing to step away from it, but this was not that
Mm-hmm.
situation. This was game changer
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't ask for. How do you mentally deal with that? You didn't have time to prepare for it. It was
No.
thrust upon you. How do you mentally get up every day and be like, okay, it's a small time period, but I know how big serving is to you. I know how important your patients are to you. And I know how
Yeah.
much you love going into your office and serving your community on a regular basis. So how do you get through that 3, 4, 6 weeks?
It's funny. I'm thinking back, and it literally, like, I don't think I was in that bad of a mental place since COVID. When they shut,
Mhm.
because Massachusetts shut us down for about 10 days, and man, did we fight to get back open. And we did, we got back open. But I remember, like, it felt like the rug was taken up from under me. And honestly, if I said I was in a good mental place, I'd be lying. And I'm really lucky that I have a really great network of friends here. And I couldn't, it was so cold here. It was end of February, and I couldn't even zip my jacket or button. And so my best friend took me to get a pedicure because she was just trying to cheer me up. And my best friend Meredith, who I talk about all the time, and she goes, "Get out of here." And I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Get out of here. Just go somewhere." She's like, "You don't need more than a backpack." So I'm not really good at spending points. I'm like a real saver. It's funny. My sister's the opposite. She's a spender. I'm a saver. So I have all these points, and I was like, okay. I was like, all right, let's just go on my points and see what's up. Friday, we're getting our nails done, and Saturday morning, I was on a flight to Jamaica with a backpack and all inclusive by myself. I've never been on a vacation by myself, so that was another really cool growth factor. Handle wrapped up because I couldn't carry a suitcase, so I had a backpack, and it was my challenge to myself to only pack flip flops, flip flops, bathing suit, shorts, dresses, go. And it was all inclusive. So I couldn't cook. You can't cook when you broke a hand. Even if it's my left hand, you can't cook. You
Right.
can't clean. I was going to go crazy. So I went on my points. I didn't pay for a
So you
cent
went
of
on
it. So
vacation.
I was like, you know what? Screw it. Someone gave me lemons. God gave me lemons. I'm gonna make lemonade, and I'm gonna throw a little vodka in it. We're gonna or rum actually from going to Jamaica, I guess, right? But it was great, and I literally, you're gonna laugh. Me being the neuro nerd, I'm literally on the beach, wrapped up hand, reading the NIH website, PubMed research on how to heal a metacarpal fracture fastest. And I always joke that I'm surprised I wasn't stopped at customs. My bags of supplements, especially my calcium hydroxyapatite, which is
Right.
white, like white pills crossing the Jamaican border. And I did it, and I went on vacation by myself, and it was really wonderfully, it was such a cool experience because now I'm just like, wow, maybe I'll go on more vacations by myself. I travel for work all the time by myself when I go to a seminar, but just to go and lay on a beach. And I think that my patients really were kind of like, wow, look what she just did. I had to
Right.
pull myself out. No one else was going to do it. And it was really, and I came back and I felt like myself again. I got a lot of sunlight. It's probably where my tan is still from, that in Florida. But that was probably one of the best things I ever did, was get out of here. And then I came back refreshed, and I started seeing patients little by little. I saw the patients that needed it. I relied more on drop tables, swallowed my pride, used my arthro-stim. So it was very humbling, but I definitely feel stronger. And one of the weird mentalities that came out of it, you have those. I'm very, very fortunate where I really do love my patients. I attract the funniest, nerdiest, wonderfulest families. Like, Let me tell you about our Star Wars party this year that just happened. But
oh yeah, because we just had May the 4th. Yes,
yes, we did. And but it was kind of a funny thing where we'd have like one or two patients that are just like, I'm so tired of these. Like they're toxic. And it just became this mentality of this mantra of not worth the pain in my hand. Like, and when I adjusted people was really like the thing that, and it still like can get sore here and there when I'm adjusting people. So they're not worth my hand pain, right? Kind of like their money's not worth it. They're not worth my soul and my energy. And I came back and I kicked a new patient out of my office who was a total dick. And then I fired a patient who was terrible, who didn't listen to my recommendations. And the only reason we let it slide was because she's the wife of a family. And guess what? The family still sees me. And the husband totally understood, which I thought was really interesting. So then my whole other mentalities, now that I'm on the other side, I was like, all right, well, we have our 4th annual Star Wars party coming up. It's on a Saturday. And I want to thank all my patients. And so we legit made it bigger than it's ever been before. I don't know if you saw the reels or the pictures. They're on my Life Chiropractic Instagram.
I have to watch because I know you.
Oh my God. I thought I had a lot of costumes last year. We rented out, one of my best friends owns a brewery around the corner. And of course, him and his family come in and I love them. And so I said, if I go, and we threw his dog a bark mitzvah last year. That's another story. So it's like, hey, can we do my Star Wars party at the brewery? And he's like, because they don't do so well during the winter. He's like, oh my God, yes. So we rented the brewery out from like 12 to 2 and it was wild. You couldn't move. Like, I'm actually worried it's on a Sunday next year because we're gonna have more people because of sports. We had some people who couldn't go, but we were like literally like sardines. You couldn't walk through his brewery. We had a cantina band play. My godson is in the jazz band. He's a 9th grader. He's 9th grade president. Him and his jazz band buddies, 2 of them got up and they were the cantina band to raise money for their class. So we had a cantina band. We had a full-blown Chewbacca. We had a full-blown like stormtrooper. It was even the bartender dressed up as Darth Vader. So it was like, you know what? I'm going to take that pendulum what do I say, the bow that we just pulled back and going through all that crap, and we're going to just launch it and throw the biggest Star Wars party we've ever had. And we really did. It was so much fun. We had a Baby Yoda baby contest that got really competitive. It's a dog-friendly brewery, so we had a dog dress-up contest. So we were like, you know what, screw it. We're going to make this even bigger than before. And it was really fun, and just kind of like to shift our energy. You just got to, you have to do that. You have to shift. You got to burn the sage and shift the energy. So we did.
I love that about you, because all too often you see people that have like a little setback and it ends up becoming a roadblock to them, right? Like that's it, game over, they're done. And you're using it to, like an arrow. We talk about bow and arrow all the time. You got to be drawn back before you can launch forward. And you use this to really catapult you forward. And I know that you did, and I knew that you would, because that's just the kind of person you are. No is never no to you. You make the final decision because it's your life. But there's some people that are watching that, or they might be watching the replay, but there's some people that are watching that, I was always taught to serve your way through. And that was just a mindset that I was taught. But there's some people who were not taught that, or never heard that, or, don't necessarily have the fortitude that you have. And I know that you've always played sports, so I'm sure that part of it came from that. And I know about your upbringing, so I'm sure that part of it came from that. But for those people that don't necessarily know, how do I get past something? Because the big topic that is all over social media and any of the chiropractic pages, especially ones that are geared to women right now, is burnout. Right? What else can I do? How else can I make money? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm struggling. I'm this, I'm that. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm working too many hours and not doing enough. And everybody lets the whole world get down on top of them, and they never know how to shake it off and get out. Right. And yet you did. And like you said, there are people who've had worse injuries, but this particular injury, you couldn't adjust. So a worse injury, yes, I get that. But this prevented you from doing what we do. Right. And for those people that have something going on, it could be personal, it could be physical, it could be financial, it could be something to do with their staff or their physical location, or just up here in their mind. What would you say to them to keep them moving forward?
And it's funny because it wasn't just, I broke my hand. My first week back, my x-ray machine broke, first time in a decade. So that was costly. And so we weren't making money and I was spending money. Our server went down. Like, it was like God was testing me. But you know what? It's so tough. I think it sounds so cheesy. It's like, it's having that faith I think it's faith in having a good support system, having a really good support system. I'm really lucky that I have my East Coast family that really rallies around me. I do have a really good support system. And then really learning to ask for help, but seeing things that stress you out as a challenge, and not letting them get you down, because, and mantras really do help. And I was like, not worth my hand pain, this will heal, the hand will heal, my hand will heal, and just looking at people who inspire me that, they're going through it too. Nothing's easy in life. Life's not fair either. I don't know who tried to explain that one. It's not, but that's what makes life fun, right? And I don't think there's anything, I moved out here 16 years ago last week, which is crazy. And I even remember when I opened my office, I was in a horrendous abusive relationship. And I still look at that year and go, what's crazy is that if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here right now. And you have to hold on to that, because some of the best things that come are from the challenges you went through. No one looks back and goes, oh, you know what? I'm so glad that I didn't take that risk. I'm so glad I didn't hold on, because there was such a greater thing on the other side. There always is a greater thing on the other side. I know it sounds cheesy. You have to have that belief. I'm meant to be a chiropractor. I know this is my job. This is my purpose. This was my calling, and because I know that and I have faith in that I know my hand's going to heal. And, geez, if you don't think I was praying to God going, why the hell did you take this gift away from me? You gave me this gift to serve. Why? I could cry talking about how mentally bad I was. But you know what? He taught me, well, obviously, and you know what's really annoying for the amount of people like, oh, God's telling you to rest. You need to slow down. And I'm like, screw you. If that was the case, it would have been a week that I didn't have to be at an awards meeting and I didn't have to host my friend's book signing thing. Like, it would have been a better week, God would, but you know what? It still worked out. It still worked out okay. And if anything, I do appreciate what I do more. And I'm really a lot stronger from it. And I have to say, I am putting up with less crap. And I think that was, you have to hold on to your gratitudes. So usually you talk about my upbringing and when people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that was your deck of cards. I was like, yeah, but it made me a great doctor. It made me stronger, and I would have never moved across the country. So I try to hold on three points of gratitude when I think of something negative that has happened to me in my life. And I'll say them out loud. I'll be like, oh, made me a great doctor. I wouldn't have lived in Massachusetts, and it made me a stronger person. So you kind of have to really shift your mind frame. And mind you, of course, it was really, really hard. But you have to hold on to that faith, and then you really need to ask for help. And if anything, oh man, that was really hard for me, asking for help. So if you're listening and you're like me, please, when you need help, ask for it. Don't wait till you break your hand. I think that is the best advice I
That's
can
a
give.
good lesson. Don't wait
Ask for help, right? Ask for help before you burn out. By the time people are already posting on those the community pages, it's like, dude, you should have asked for help a long time ago. Or, you know what, you should have spent the money and come join us at one of our women's, chiropractic weekends. You should have taken that time out for yourself and not felt bad about it either.
Right.
Put yourself first, be selfish, because if not, if you don't pour your own pitcher, there's going to be nothing to pour out to everybody else. Don't wait for burnout. We talk about subluxations. Why are you waiting for a disc bulge or pain before seeing a chiropractor for the first time? That's stupid. We need to listen to our own advice, right? Yep. So, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what we needed to hear today. That is exactly what we needed to hear today. Yep. I love it. I'm glad that you're doing better.
I got a cool hand now, and I have I have to say,
and another cool story.
It's really funny. And I literally, it was all wrapped up. And when I'm in Jamaica, I had everyone would stop, oh my God, what happened to your hand? And I just got kind of annoyed with football. You play football? I'm like, yes, I play football. And then they would think American football, or they'd think soccer. And then I just get really fed up and be like, it's a boxer's fracture. So I'm like, yeah, I punched a guy. Right. I got so annoyed telling the story that I just started telling people I punched somebody, and then they would walk away very slowly. I'm like, don't bother me.
Why do you think I'm here alone?
Yep. I was like, don't make me break the other hand now.
I
even kind of joke about it.
And that's the best thing you can do. You know, you just
Oh, yeah.
gotta shake it off and step up, right?
Yeah.
I always think about the story of the prize donkey that fell in the well, and they
Yeah.
try everything. They can't get the donkey out. They try putting ropes down there. They just can't get the donkey out. So they start, throwing piles of dirt down. So they're like, you know what? Let's just put him out of his misery, throw piles of dirt down. But every time they throw the dirt, the donkey just shakes it off and steps up on the dirt. And the next thing you know, the donkey just walks out. Like that's a story that I always hold on to, because that's who we are. We sometimes you just got to shake it off and step up.
Yeah. And if you really, it's like the book Sacred Contracts. If you checked off that you wanted to be a badass warrior, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go through some stuff to become that. You don't just become that from skating through life,
Right.
So
right. Yeah, you don't get strong by just sitting around.
Nope.
You come up against a lot of opposition to get to be that strong. I know that.
Yep.
Well, I'm so glad that you joined us today. I'm so glad I get to see your face, because it's been a while too. That we get to share you with everyone. Hopefully we'll get you back down to Georgia so that you can do some more of the awesome continuing ed for us for GCC, because I know you've done some great hours.
Oh, I love it. I do want to get back to it. I think since I broke my hand, I've kind of went I haven't been speaking as much, and I do miss it a lot. And there's some good new research coming out too to add to my slides that chiropractors need to know about. It's crazy what's going on right now. Like, I don't know what profession gets better like chiropractic. We're the finest wine on the planet, I swear. And people just need to know that what we do, the power of what we do. So, yeah.
Love it. I love it. Well, listen, speaking of that, GCC works on public awareness campaigns. And one of the ways that we fund them is through our golf tournament. We do a golf tournament every year. This year, our golf tournament is coming up on Friday, the 13th of September. So mark your calendars now, because the money that we raise for this goes to chiropractic research and a public awareness campaign. So we want to make sure that we get as many players out there. Let's fill out the field, but we also want to get sponsors and donations and great prizes for all of the players. So if you don't play, then send it out to your patients who do. If you do play, then get registered. If you have a business or something that can support this, or maybe you've got some raffle items or something that you want to contribute, just reach out to us at chirocup.com or on our regular website, which is georgiachiropractic.org. But speaking of continuing ed, let me go backwards. We're going to come back to June, because we have our first CE event coming up. That's our Atlanta Summer CE, June 22nd and 23rd. That's at the Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. This is the one on 285. It's not the one by the Battery. I keep telling you that because I don't want anybody going to the wrong location and getting all upset and flustered. So Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center, June 22nd, 23rd. You can get all of your 20 hours during one weekend. And then after that, we've got some more CE coming up during the summer. So we've got South Georgia, we've got Augusta down in August, we've got South Georgia the end of August. Then we're going to be in Savannah in November. And then we wrap it up at the end of the year with our annual GCC convention in the Marietta area. So there's your calendar. It's also on our website, georgiachiropractic.org. Make sure you stay connected with us. I'm sure we're going to have some kind of fun philosophy events coming up. So just stay tuned for that. But as for today, I want to say I got to jump and do another call. So Dr. Jamie, I'm going to let you go, because I know you got a busy afternoon coming up.
Yeah. It was so great to talk to you, Dr. Kathy. I miss you so much.
Miss you. I'll see you soon. And everybody else, I'll see you. I don't know if we're going to be here next week, because it's a holiday week. So maybe not, but we'll see you soon.